Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And does she really know what she's doing? Probably not, but anyway, happy Friday. So we are using those scratch claw marks again. We are using the truck, which will pop up for you, and we're also using this one, and we're using them all together and in a different way. And the reason for that is because I saw KSCRAFT actually did a tutorial for the truck yesterday, so I thought I'm going to do that partially, but we're going to turn it into something that has got a base. So anyway, it's Friday and let's get started. Right, now then, the mini album page, I've cut that in black. You can see that there are holes there. I'm going to try and get rid of those holes in a minute, but with this also comes a cobweb, so I'm going to glue that down right now, and I hope that my camera isn't blurred because that would spoil the fun. So I'm just putting a little bit down where it matters, and that's going to be in the bits where you might catch your fingers. So there we go. I might put a bit in there as well. And we're just going to stick this down, so get it, you know, fairly even to the line, which you should have there. And I'm going to go there. Any extra glue, just wipe it off. You're not going to see it because it's supposed to dry clear. There. Getting all my bits out. So we've got that done, and we can see that it's supposed to be an album page. So we need to get rid of the fact that it's actually an album page, and we're going to do that with the tear strips. So rather than the apertures that the die creates, I've got the bits that pop out, and I'm just going to position these and then trim them. So that's going to be my bit of dirt on the ground, and that's why I cut them in craft cardstock. So I'm basically going to cross them over and glue them where they're going to hide those holes. Now of course what I'm doing here you would also do on the reverse to hide the holes. You would cut another black base because they are mirror image, so that you've got a nice back, and just put some dirt down in your sentiment on the back of it. And then I'm going to trim my bits off in a minute. So let's go along there and see how much we need. So there we go. We have now hidden the holes. Now somewhere around here I've got a pair of scissors, and we're just going to flip that over and we're going to trim off the excess. I've just noticed I've got a bunch of twine fluff on my scissors from yesterday. Right, so now we've got some dirt and we've hidden our holes, and we've got that lovely spider web background. Right, so I've shown you how to do that bit, and I'm just going to move that off to the side now because we won't need that until right at the very end. Now with your set comes wheels, and I have cut the wheels because I wanted to glue sequins on so that they would glue and be dry. So those are 2 wheels. Now if you're making it as a pop-up like KSCRAFT has done it, you're going to cut multiples of these so that it will, you know, stand up on its own. But I'm doing mine with the base, so hopefully that'll be, you know, self-explanatory as I go along. Right, so now we've got these. Now I did glue these bits. This is going to be my front piece. Because they're so tiny, I didn't want to lose them, so I have done that. Now your stitch section goes into the middle, and you can see you've got your little flap front and back. Now if you look at the front one, it's small, and if you look at the back one, it's larger. And you get 2 pieces in your set like this, so you can see that your small one is going to go to the front and your larger one is going to go towards the back. Now there is another piece to make it 3. Now this one obviously is going to aid in everything standing up, and you would make this section exactly the same as this section, except because I'm gluing mine to the base, I don't quite need to be so involved with that back section, if you know what I mean. But hopefully it'll be self-explanatory in a minute. And then I have cut 3 of these because you're going to need something that is going to hold your little die cuts in position and keep them floated. So you've got an attachment area here with the fence. So you're going to need 3 of those if you're doing it the way that I am doing it. I have also cut for embellishment the cobweb. I've cut the ghost. This all comes in that set, and you get 2 little bones, and I'm just picking them up. I've got 2 little bones. I've cut 5 of the pumpkins, so I've got those. I've cut 3 of the little black cats, so they're faced in opposite directions. And then I've got this one. I'm just going to put that there for a minute because I want to use it. I'm just making sure my fluff is off my table. And you also get the door section. Now the door section's nice because it kind of helps you figure out where your wheels go. So I'm just going to pop that on so that you can see it. So your door section is going to go there. And then you get the, I think it's called the running board? So that, you know, you can stand on the edge of your truck if you want to. And that goes onto there. And maybe I should have put the black bit on last. But you do not have to use that bit if you do not want to. So I'll do it without so that you can see. And then you get your wheel arches, which I've cut in black. Now all of this cardstock is from Joanne. So I've got another wheel there. So you can pop your wheels and your wheel arches wherever you want to. You can just slide them up and down the body of the truck. And then of course you can see where your wheels go, which is right there. Okay, so now let's do a bit more gluing and you'll be able to see what I mean. So first of all, I'm going to glue the door section onto my front panel. I'm just going to get that down on there. And just give it a smooth. Now my cat is going to be driving my truck, so I just want to pop my cat down there so that I can see where it's going to be, and I want its little head at a jaunty little angle like that. And all I'm going to do is just put 1 dot of glue. Then I'm going to bring my truck in, position it once again. Right, so my cat is now driving that little truck. And you can check behind to make sure there's no tail hanging out of anywhere, and that looks good to me. Now I do have my white paint pen here actually, and I haven't used it for a few days, so let's see if I can dot a couple of eyes there. Just tiny little white dots for my cats. So the next thing that I want to do to this is pop on the arches and the wheels. So it's entirely up to you how you do it, but I think I'm going to go there. I mean, that curve in the door is a good, you know, kind of marker for where it should go. So just a little bit of glue around there, and let's pop this in. I'm going there. And then I want the other one to match. So we're kind of eyeballing it, and I can see that I'm a fraction over on the edge on that one, but I'm within the edge on this side. So I'm popping that there. So I've got my wheel arches on, and now I'm just going to quickly put on the wheels. So if I pop a blob of glue there, and stick that down. I'm just going to pop that on, and then I'm going to quickly stand it up to make sure that it's straight. Yes, it is. So that we've got that. Right, so we're looking good. Now this bit needs to go in here, and as you can see, you can either choose to pop it on the outside where it begins interfering with the door section, or you can stick it behind. I'm choosing to pop mine behind, so I'm just going to go a little bit of glue there and there, and then I'm just going to pick it up towards me and pop this on. So that now will become the anchor for anything that you're going to stick on. Right, so the next thing I need to do is I need to glue these onto these two sections, and I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done that, and now the next thing that I want to do, because you've got to remember I'm doing it my way, it might be easier for you to do it a different way, and that is I'm just going to pop another one of these onto here, just purely for decorative purposes, and of course this one is going on the back. So if you were doing it as a full stand-up truck, you would have cut 6 wheels out and fitted them all on so that it would stand up on its own. So I've got that little back section on there. Now what I want to do next is with this, we've got our little tabs. Now these pieces have to be glued right in the center. So I am going to score that there and just fold that over. I'm just looking at where my lines are, because you have got a stitch line just before the emboss line, and you know me and my humidity, so I just want to make sure that I've got that absolutely accurate. And I'm just grabbing my bone folder. I'm going to give that a squish. Okay. So I've got these pieces, and it needs to go into the center of here. So we can fold these and just bring them back out, just so that you're ready to go with all of your other pieces. Now I want this in the middle here, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue down and make sure that that is evenly in the center. And I'm just having a look to make sure that it is. Right, so I'm giving that a press. I'll just give it a few seconds to dry and I'll be back. Okay, and now for this one I want to do exactly the same thing, and I'm lining the edge up with the flat edge of the truck, and I want to go halfway. I'm just getting my fingers in there. and you want to look at your distance, so wiggle it around while you still can. And I'll just give that a few seconds. Okay, so I think that's dry enough, and the next thing I want to do is I want to put my front piece on. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue on here, and then I want to pick my truck up, and I want to make sure that this bottom edge lines up with this bottom edge. So I'm just sticking that right on the edge there, and I am closing it because you can see there, see how far out that is? That's what we want. And I just need to bring that over, bring it back into the camera, right over to the edge. Right, I'm just going to hold that and I'll be right back. Okay, so your truck should now be looking like this from the front. So you've got your little gap there. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to put the back piece on, and that goes on like this, exactly the same way we just did the center one. So we need some glue onto here, just line your pieces up, and then we're going to get this one and we're going to pop it on there. That's right, my humidity is absolutely dreadful. It really is. Right, I am going to hold that and I will be right back. Okay, so that's almost dry, but you can see now you've got your 3 layers of truck. Now we need to glue the front layer, and we do that exactly the same way as we did the back. So we're just going to be doing this with it, just like that. Tuck that bit in so that you end up with a flat piece at the front. So let me stick this one, and then I'll just run off and stick the back one because I've already done the other one, so that you know how to do that. And we're just going to pop that onto here. Just need to tuck that edge in. Right, I'll be right back. Right, so if you were doing a little driving truck, as I said, you would have 6 wheels on it, which would allow it to stand up. And then, of course, you'd fold it flat, whichever way you wanted to, and pop it into your envelope. So that's how that actually works. But I want mine, you can see it's lopsided because it doesn't have wheels on that side, but I want mine to have that cobweb base. Now, before I do that, I'm actually going to be loading it up with some of these goodies. So I've already got my little kitty cat driver. Now I do want to put some little dots, as soon as I find my paint pen, there it is, into those cat's eyes again. So I'm just making sure that I've still got some paint flowing. Just give my pen a little squidgle. There we go. So I just want kitty cat eyes again. Just 2 little dots, that's all you need. And I want one that's going to be sitting right there on the front of the truck. So I want it to be looking a little bit mischievous. So I'm going to go there with one kitty cat. And I do apologise. I mean, you know, it's not my fault that I've got a lot of humidity, but it does take such a while for my things to dry. So we've got our kitty cat there, we've got the driver, and now I want to put pumpkins inside. And of course these are layers, so what I'm going to do for my my back layer is I just want to put a little bit of glue here, and I think I'll go and work from, you know, wherever feels best. So I'm going to put that there. And then I've got my little ghost. So I'm going to put a bit of glue there. I'm going to have my ghost going like that. And then I've got these bones, and I'm wondering if I should put bones on the side of my truck. Maybe on the door. Yeah. Let's have a go and see what that looks like. Now if you know where all your decorations are going beforehand, you can do this when your truck is flat, because that is preferable. It makes the most sense. And then I'm just going to try and cross them over a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. And bring that one down on there. Right, so I've got my little crossbones on the doors. I've got my kitty cats and I've got my ghost. And I'm going to fill the front section with pumpkins. So I just need to kind of like figure out where they're going to go. And I do want them slightly up in the air. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my glue onto the railing. And I'm going to get a pumpkin in there and stick it down. And I want this one lower. So that's what I've got so far. I've got a couple of pumpkins. I've got my ghost, my cat, my driver. And then I'm going to have a pumpkin that goes to the back with the cobweb, which is here. So that you've got some dimension going on with that bit. And then I think I'm going to have another pumpkin right on the back piece. So I'm just going to go there. And then I want another pumpkin at the front. And I want this one quite high up, so I'm putting the glue right at the bottom of it. And then I'm just going to go there. Right, I'm just going to let that dry a second and I'll be right back. Right, so while I was gone, I decided to put the third cat up there, just sitting amongst the pumpkins. And he's got his little tail hanging down. Now I want to get my white paint pen again and just add a couple of highlights onto those wheels. So I'm just going to fold it flat. I'm just going to go around there. So I've got a couple of little highlights. Now all that's left to do is to glue it onto its base. Now this is the easy bit, because all you have to do is apply your glue along here. So we're going to go, you want it to stay stuck down, so I'm just going to do the center panel. And you also want it to be where it's going to, you know, collapse. Now the edge of your truck will go onto here you want your wheels, so if I stand it up it's probably easier for you to see. I'm actually collapsing that, so the base of my card is on the table and the wheels are also on the table, but there's only glue on the truck, and you can see it fits within the dimensions of that mini album. So I'm just going to go along here. Well, I'm just going to hold that there for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. For popping it in the post, it fits within the fingerprint of that spiderweb mini album, but then it pops up so it becomes 3D, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to stand up. There you go. So it will have its base, and you can still see a little bit of dirt, but it's hidden the holes of the mini album. And as I said, this mirror images, so cut another black base, flip it around so it's nice on the back, and then just put your dirt down again to hide the holes on the reverse, and pop your sentiment in. Now I'm trying to get a clear image. I know that I'm covered in glue. I've got to peel those little bits off. But there's your kitty cat driver. You've got your skull and bones. I've got my fluffy glue everywhere, so I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to pick that bit off. Yeah. And if you wanted to, you could even add something else in there. Just remember that you're going to put that across so that you can get it into your envelope. But isn't that great? I love that. Oh yeah. And I got my sparkly Dollar Tree sequin stars on the wheels. I like those too. Right, so that is what I have for you today, and I do hope you have an absolutely awesome weekend, and as usual, all links below. Bye.